I'm Dr. Godwin Amenorpe. I am working with Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. Currently, I am the acting head of nuclear agriculture and radiation processing. My head is Dr. Amite. He has traveled to US. At Binary, I rose through the rank. I am now the principal research scientist.
What's your key responsibility as a plant breeder or a plant scientist at GAEC?
As a plant breeder, my key responsibility is to allow the whole world to feed from my hand. Why? Because we, the plant breeders, are tasked with the mandate of improving upon the crops that farmers grow, so that those plants which are disease tolerant, we can modify the genes so that they will become disease resistant. Those ones which are not sweet, we can modify the genes so that they become better and better and sweeter. Those plants which can produce less yield can now be modified so that they will become high yielding materials. So our duty is to help farmers grow and get more benefit from whatever they grow, and let the consumers also feel better taste of any food that they are dealing with. And we also do market-oriented breeding, which will help industries to produce better chemicals for those who are sick.
How is plant breeding beneficial to the agricultural sector, or how does it add value to the sector?
Plant breeding, we all know, is just modification of the genes so that you produce more economical plants for agriculture center. For example, beans have been released as varieties, and these beans mature within 2.5 months, 82 to 87 days to be precise. And people in Somalia and other parts of the world where the rainfall is so meager cannot get the yield before the drought sets in. So as plant breeders, our duty is to look at the circumstances and modify the genes so that the plants can yield faster. So we have looked at the problem that they are facing, and we've taken these beans, which matures within 87 days, and we decreased the maturation period from 87 to only 30 days. So these beans that we have here is extra early maturing beans, so that when you grow it, within 30 days start flowering, within 45 days it has finished the production cycle, so that this one will enable the plant to escape the drought in those famine regions in Sahel and other countries. Another example is that this cassava, we all know that farmers need the one that they can use for food. And we have used cassava seeds. We have used cassava seeds. These are cassava seeds. We have used cassava seeds to modify the genes of the seeds, and we have released 5 varieties of cassava now, which are called ampestihini, meaning you can use it for raw cassava, bulk cassava, and fufuhini, meaning you can even pound fufu with your hand when you get a ball sample of it. And these are grown by farmers for consumers. So it's benefiting communities who doesn't have those quality of cassava they wanted. Factories, starch factories, they want high yielding starch. We use cassava seeds and we irradiated it, and we came out with the high yielding cassava starch samples for industries. The production level, starch level is around 48 to 49%. Cassava farmers also need straight stems so that they can put it in tractor to plant for them. Because outside there, they don't plant cassava with cutlass and hoe. On large commercial field like 50 acres of cassava, you need tractors to plant and tractor to harrow plants and weeds along. So they need cassava that grows straight. And we have those varieties now produced with modification, which will actually benefit all of them. So plant breeding is there to solve farmers' problem, consumers' problem, as well as industry's problem. Let's also talk about coconuts. You know very well that in Ghana, the coconut we have is called West Africa tall. It suffers from Cape St. Port wilts. And it is sad to see a lot of coconut plantations going wasted. So we reason about it and say, why not develop early maturing varieties that actually shoots from the ground? So we came out with new varieties of coconuts that actually can give you fruit from 22 months. Meanwhile, the tall West African one, when you plant it, can give you fruits from 8 years. So who will be in business? The one who grows early maturing ones will be in business because within 2 years, he will start harvesting his crops. Above all, those varieties doesn't suffer from Cape St. Port wilts. They are resistant to it. So we are here to give improved varieties. And these improved varieties will enhance the benefits of farmers, consumers, as well as the industry that depend on farmers.
Are there any side effects to these genome edited seeds?
Side effect is what we evaluate for. Because when you start with modification of the genes, you come out with thousands of varieties or variants. So our duty is to assess all the thousands on individual basis and see whether there are some side effects. Those which are susceptible to diseases, we remove them. Those which can cause allergy to consumers, we remove them. We come out with those which are safe for consumption or safe for industry. For example, industrial needs may not be consumers' needs. Industries like Caltech approach me to produce cassava varieties which will not be good for the markets. All that they need is high-yielding cassava which will not be poundable or mealy. It cannot be used to serve food on any table. So it is my duty to screen the variants that they want. So if I come out with high starch value and resistant to all the diseases, but not good for fufu, then it will serve their purpose because when they distribute it among farmers, farmers cannot actually steal some of the produce to the local market to go and sell. Because local markets will never patronize cassava varieties which are not mealy. So it will be conserved and reserved for their industries only. That's how industrial needs may be different from consumers' needs. So we are serving all fronts. Market-oriented breeding is what we do.
In your opinion, what is the state of the plant breeding sector in Ghana?
Plant breeding in Ghana is very, very lucrative because whatever worries the farmers, they can hand it on to we, the researchers. When you solve the problem, it simply means you have the right to make that crop open pollinated crop so that when they grow it, they can grow the seed again and again on their own. As they are happy, you are also successful. You are also happy, they remember you. Or you can make it a hybrid seed so that when they grow it, the second cultivation, the seed will segregate and they cannot pick their own seed and grow. In that case, it simply means you, the one who owns the rights, can keep on supplying seeds for everybody. And in both ways, we are happy. So we always produce the both open pollinated type for farmers as well as the hybrid seed, which yield higher than the OPs for all the farmers. So it's a lucrative job, provided we have sponsorship, because plant breeding task is It deals with planting at local stations as well as multi-stations. If you don't have a very large team to move, to assist you to do this, it means there is no way you can come out with varieties. So a lot of monies are required. We need the public to sponsor us and or come into partnership with us so that we allow farmers and industry to feed from our hands.
Briefly walk us through the steps in plant breeding.
Farmers in Ghana complain that Hewale, a variety released in Ghana, is having too tiny seeds. They would like to have bigger seeds. And I took only one seed and then radiated, I grew it to have a lot of population. Then from this population, I took it to Gamma Radiation Center to work on it to modify the genes. From these seeds, I have larger seed size varieties. Some are very dark, some are brown, and some are white. And you can see that they have various colors, the various sizes, and various maturation dates. So that's the importance of mutation breeding. What nature can take 1,000 years to do, we accelerate it using modern method that we have so that nature, we are not producing poison. If it is poison, we will destroy it immediately. Nature is enhanced to give us better choices. If this one is suffering from disease, these ones are more robust to withstand the disease. So farmers must depend on breeders to improve the seeds before they grow. Otherwise, they'll be having losses.